We're in a transition process, transiting to the next government that is coming in. What should the people look forward to so that they can benefit maximally from the government, and how should they hold them accountable?
Thank you very much for that very good question. My name is Kenny Olubimi. I'm a political analyst. Let's just look at it. What do we expect from the 10th Assembly? What do we expect from the new government, irrespective of the tribunal issue that is on board? At least, whichever way we look at it, somebody will take responsibility. First, in the past, we used to have the kind of people that we have in the M1 affairs are not people that are knowledgeable, are not people that they have proven integrity, are not people that have skill and competencies. That's why almost all the sector has been run aground now. So we're looking for people that has capacity, competence, and character, and it should be irrespective of whether they come from, whether they are irrespective of the issue. Ethnic bias, there should be no ethnic bias, there should be no religion bias, and also we should not depend on party affiliation. Because somebody did not vote for you and he has a core competence doesn't mean he cannot be part of the government. Remember, you are there working to enhance good life of people. So what we expect from the new government is to look beyond their party, to look beyond ethnic group, to look beyond religious sentiment in order to decide. It should not be a business as usual. In the past, it used to be when they nominate people, they take a bow in their house without asking them any question. You will see almost all the ministers flawed now. They couldn't account for almost anything we have done. If they really did well, if they really interface, if they really deliver what we are supposed to do, Nigeria will not be in a descriptive situation that we have now. Secondly, is that we've seen lawlessness in terms of security, local. Remember, nobody can come and attack you if they shoot you. We've seen some people are bent on discrediting Nigeria, causing instability. It is now time now for the new government to enforce law against anybody, unpatriotic citizen, whoever you are, whatever the level, wherever you are. Because if people don't connive with an insider, they can continue to cause mayhem. We realize that what we're fighting for is a political war, is a cultural war, is an ethnic war. The other one we're talking about, we have repeatedly said we are more of a consumption nation. We are not a production nation. The problem we have is power. If there is power, we will move from consumption to production, because the most important parameter that is needed to move from consumption to production is power. Now, we've seen the decentralization of the energy option. The federal government now has signed a bill to decentralize energy, which means we're not going to be depending on only one source of energy. Every state has now been empowered to deliver, to generate, to transmit, and to distribute energy. We now want the new government to facilitate such. Bear in mind now that we have different sources of energy. Coal in Enugu, what are they doing with it? We have abundant coal in Enugu. We have abundant sunshine in the north. We have a lot of waste that is creating a nuisance in the south. All those two now should be explored, and government should be able to give credit facility. Bear in mind, we now have over 2.6 trillion in the banking sector. What do we need? They need to lend at a single digit. Because take for instance now, the monetary policy rate has increased to 18%. Which means now that the lending rate will go beyond 27.63, and it is not good enough. What we are expecting the new government is that we need credit facility. There's a need for them to have development partner. There's a need to invite other people from foreign direct investment to cushion the liquidity we have. Those are the ones. Then secondly, we've complained about tertiary education. The National Union University Commission, the strike, the ASU strike, and the Nigerian Board of Technical Education strike, the Ministry of Education. It's obvious that the three ministries that are saddled with the responsibility cannot even deliver now. There's no harmony in them. You can see the Minister of Education, why have you been able to prevail over it? No. The Minister of Labour could not even do much. So the question is, the new government should create a special purpose vehicle. That is, there must be a national advisor on tertiary education with a view to harmonize the university, the polytechnic, and other institutions to create a framework. I said Nigeria, there is no government that can have enough budget. By UN standard, they're supposed to deploy about 26% of the budget. But what have you seen so far? We've earned about only 10%. And only 10% is true with looting in impunity work. So we're expecting them now to increase the budget allocation. It's not only government that should be involved. Business ecosystem should support, development partners should support, and there should be transparency in how money is not to facilitate. Tax fund should be improved. So those are the ones. The other one now is this. We said one. Our youth are going on japa. Some of them have escaped. Brain drain. How can we forestall that? It's by wealth creation. If you don't guarantee credit, if you don't guarantee credit facility, how do you develop how do you develop a robust approach for employment opportunity? We now have unemployment of like 3%, and government cannot employ. In fact, most of the people that government employ are redundant. What we're expecting this government to facilitate credit facility, so that will encourage small scale industry, entrepreneur, because large corporation cannot provide all the employment we need, because they have a regulator and because of the amount of money. But if they're middle class, if they're lower class, if they're small scale class, the Osusu, let us have enough credit facility. You will know now that Nigerians are people with a lot of brain. They have high brain capacity. They have high level of ingenuity, because of the youth that are frustrated. That's why we have problem. The next one now is we talk about infrastructure. As of today, infrastructure decadence is what is happening, is what is actually crippling a lot of activity. You know, when there's no mobility of any commerce from one point to the other within the value chain, they cannot earn good return on investment. We are now saying there's a need, an aggressive drive towards infrastructure. Now we're calling on government. Government should not be able to do all the projects. There's a need for government to adopt another strategy, PPP, public-private partnership, and also attract development partner. Nigerians, if they are in infrastructure, they are ready to pay premium. Because if you know now that mobility is enhanced, you'll be ready to pay. And also, health is wealth. There's a need for aggressive drive in wealth, because we have seen all our health institutions in Rankono. Look at how we manage COVID. Look, almost how the federal hospital have turned to dispensing unit. In fact, you can see people asking you to buy drug. Yes, we have a lot of money. Yet we have a lot of pharmaceutical company in Nigeria that produces. We now ask, all the production, where do they have enough money? How can we now have enough creative facility for people to produce at a cost that people can afford? Those are the way we're looking at. Now, the other seventh one we're looking at the proper convergence. You know, for an institution to have a good governance, you must be able to manage the people. You must be able to navigate the place. You must have an enabled process, and you have technology. If there's convergence of technology in managing the people, the place, and the process, you will know. Many of the institutions we have, they are not digitalized, because it's also to promote impunity and corruption where man is involved. So we're saying now that it is time for us to have a convergence of artificial intelligence, robotics, genetics, sequencing, and also cyber security. All those ones should be deployed in a digital automation, which will improve on our connectivity infrastructure. So that, look, imagine Nigeria, we're still worrying about transmission of results. We're still talking of convergence. We can't even manage the cloud capacity that is 99%. So we're looking at this government to be savior, to be our savior. The second thing is we have impunity that is across every region. The kind of problem that we see across the region is the one that led to marginalization. The Southeast is calling about marginalization. South is calling about marginalization. The North are talking about marginalization. We need to begin to now, the new government that is coming in, they need to come around and recognition system. We are now over 400 years in our amalgamation. We were forced to coerce one another, not to understand, be in view of the cultural diversity, ethnic diversity. We have 250 ethnic groups. Remember, those people across the ethnic group have not been, those people have had good position. Look at NDDC. Maybe the NDDC is supposed to cushion the effect. How have we managed? $40 billion over the time. It's not close to math. We are the same people that mismanage it. We have the Ministry of Niger Delta. What have we done? So now we need to come and engage ourselves to understand the problem across the region with a view to mitigate against this marginalization. The other one is that this government should talk of national unity. This is not the time you compensate people because they help you in election to come and put them in position. Because this is where we have incompetent people taking decisions. The government should look beyond their party. Party position in government should not be a settlement for political award. Let everybody now go and work. After election, go and work. Because you are a director of media, because you are a director of protocol, does that mean you will have government appointment? Government should look beyond their party. There are so many good people across the party. Remember, it's Nigeria that are moving from one party to the other. If you look at LP, look at APC, look at PDP, look at all the 18 parties. There are people that are competent, that have a global exposure, that are skillful, that they have proven integrity. Those are the people that should involve. And in the last, there's a need for us to talk about reducing our current expenditure. Now, the new government should unbundle the entire ministry. There are a lot of duplication in the ministry. They should unbundle it. Probably before time now, there's a ministry that controls three power, mind, and work. Now they unbundle it. What result would we have? So the government should streamline and unbundle. And it's a time for us to have devolution of power. It is time for us to have restructuring. It is time for us to have repositioning. It is time for us to now make a transparency, openness improve on inclusivity. This is what we expect the new government. This is what we're going to hold them accountable for. Thank you very much.